Hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here for this moment. This is the part of the day that often goes unnoticed. Not quite daytime anymore. Not yet night. Just a gentle pause in between. As the sun lowers and the light thins, something inside us slows as well. The urgency of the day fades. The mind grows quieter, and thoughts we didn't have time for earlier begin to drift in. Later in life, sunsets feel different. They're no longer just something beautiful in the sky. They feel personal. Each one carrying the quiet weight of time, memory, and all the endings we've learned to live with. This moment before lights out isn't about sadness. It's about awareness. About standing still long enough to notice what the day gave you, what it took, and what you're willing to let rest until tomorrow. So wherever you are right now, allow yourself to pause. Let the light outside or the memory of it soften your thoughts, and let this transition be gentle. And now, before we begin, if this kind of gentle reflection speaks to you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And down in the comments, tell me where you're watching from and what the sunset looked like where you are today. There's something profound about knowing we're all here together, scattered across the world, but united in this transition from light to darkness. Because if you're here, listening to this, you understand something that takes years to learn. You understand that sunsets change as you age, that watching the day end becomes something different after you've seen enough of them. Not worse, necessarily, just deeper, more weighted with meaning and memory and the acute awareness that another day has passed and will never come again. Because tonight, we're going to stand together in that liminal space between day and night, that threshold moment when the sun dips below the horizon and everything transforms, when the world shifts from doing to being, when the light changes and with it, everything changes. We're going to explore what happens in your mind and heart during these moments before darkness fully arrives. The thoughts that surface, the feelings that rise, the way the ending of light mirrors so many other endings you've witnessed. So find your place. Maybe you're by a window watching the actual sunset. Maybe you're already in bed, remembering the colors you saw earlier. Maybe you're somewhere in between, moving through your evening routine while the last light fades outside. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, know that for the next hour, you're not alone in this transition. You're not alone in whatever surfaces when day becomes night. Let's begin. You're watching the sun go down, or you've just watched it, or you're remembering what it looked like. The sky is doing what it does every evening, performing its ancient ritual of color and transformation. But tonight, you're actually noticing. Tonight, you're paying attention in a way you don't always pay attention. Tonight, the sunset isn't just background. It's the main event. The light is golden right now. That particular quality of light that only exists in the hour before sunset. Photographers call it the golden hour. That time when everything glows, when ordinary objects become extraordinary, when the world looks like it's been dipped in honey and amber and liquid gold. You've seen this light thousands of times. Every day of your life, this light has existed. But how many times have you actually stopped to witness it? How many of those thousands of sunsets did you actually see? Really see? With full attention and presence? Most of them you missed. You were inside. You were busy. You were distracted by screens or tasks or the endless demands of daily life. The sun set without you noticing. The day ended while you were looking elsewhere. The light changed and you didn't see it happen. But tonight you're here. Tonight you're watching. Tonight you've given yourself permission to stop and witness this daily miracle that's so common we forget it's miraculous at all. The sky is starting to shift now. The gold is deepening into orange. That first hint of fire appearing on the horizon. The sun is lower, closer to the edge of the world. The angle of light is changing by the second. Shadows are lengthening. Everything is being transformed by this sideways light that only exists right now, in this exact moment, at this exact angle. You remember being a child and not understanding sunsets. The sun went down and you barely noticed. It just meant dinner time was coming. Bath time, bedtime, the end of play. You didn't have the context to understand what you were seeing. You didn't have enough sunsets behind you to feel the weight of another day ending. Children live in an eternal present. Yesterday is fuzzy. Tomorrow is abstract. There's only now, only this moment, only this game, this toy, this feeling. The sun setting doesn't carry meaning because time itself doesn't carry meaning yet. Because when you're young, time feels infinite. There will always be another day, another sunset, another chance. But you're not a child anymore. You have context now. You have history. You have thousands of sunsets behind you and an unknown number ahead. You understand that time isn't infinite, that days are countable, that every sunset is one fewer sunset remaining in your life. This knowledge changes everything about how you watch the light fade. The orange is deepening into red now. The sun is touching the horizon. Or it's already below it, depending on where you are, what you can see from your vantage point. But the sky is still holding the light, still displaying it, still showing you what happens when day transforms into night. You think about all the sunsets you've watched from different places, different windows, different cities, different countries, different eras of your life. Each one unique, each one unrepeatable, each one a specific convergence of weather and geography and the exact position of Earth in its orbit around the sun. You remember the sunset on your honeymoon, if you had one. How you stood with someone you loved and watched the day end together. How romantic it felt. How full of promise. The sun setting wasn't an ending then. It was a beginning, the start of your evening together, the start of your life together. The light fading only to make room for candlelight, for intimacy, for the privacy of darkness. You remember sunsets from vacations, beach sunsets where the sun dropped into the ocean and the sky turned purple and pink and colors that don't have names. Mountain sunsets where the peaks glowed like they were lit from within. Desert sunsets where the whole world turned to copper and rust and the sky went on forever. Those sunsets were celebrations, rewards for having traveled, for having gotten away from regular life. You watched them with cocktails in hand, or exhausted from hiking, or surrounded by people you loved. Those sunsets marked time outside of normal time, vacation time, special time, time that didn't count against your regular allocation of days. But most sunsets aren't vacation sunsets. Most sunsets are regular sunsets, ordinary sunsets. Sunsets that happen while you're cooking dinner, or commuting home, or doing laundry, or scrolling through your phone. Sunsets that pass without ceremony, without witness, without anyone stopping to acknowledge that something profound is happening in the sky. You've missed so many of those. You've let so many days end without watching them end, without marking the passage, without acknowledging that another revolution of the earth has occurred, and you're one day older and time has moved forward, whether you noticed or not. This bothers you sometimes, the waste of it, the thousands of beautiful moments you've ignored because you were busy or distracted or just not paying attention. All those sunsets that happened without you, all that beauty that existed whether you saw it or not. But you're seeing this one, this sunset, right now, this specific arrangement of light and color and atmospheric conditions that will never occur again in exactly this way. You're here, you're present, you're witnessing. The red is deepening now. The sun is below the horizon if it wasn't already, but the sky is still luminous, still glowing. The clouds are catching the last light, holding it, displaying it. Pink and coral and shades of purple are starting to appear. The whole sky is a canvas, and the sunset is painting it in real time. You breathe slowly. You let yourself feel this. The ending of the day, the transition into night, the beauty and the melancholy mixed together in equal measure. Because sunsets are melancholy, aren't they? Even the most beautiful ones carry a kind of sadness, an awareness of ending, of loss, of time passing. The light is leaving, the day is dying, darkness is coming, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, nothing anyone can do. The earth turns, the sun sets, the day ends. This is the pattern. This is the way of things. You think about your own days, how they end, the ritual of evening, the things you do as the light fades and night arrives, the way you transition from the public self who moves through the world to the private self who exists at home. You come home. You close the door behind you. You remove the clothes you wore to present yourself to the world. You put on comfortable clothes, soft clothes, clothes no one else will see. You move into your private spaces, your bedroom, your bathroom, the places where you don't have to perform. The sunset mirrors this. The world is also removing its public face, taking off its bright daytime appearance, settling into the softness and privacy of darkness, becoming itself without the need to be seen. There's relief in this, in the ending of the day, in the permission to stop, to rest, to let go of whatever you've been carrying. The sunset gives you permission. It says the day is done. You can release it now. You can stop trying. You can just be. But there's also loss, because this day, this specific day that just ended, you'll never get it back. It's gone. Whatever you did or didn't do, whoever you were or weren't, however you spent these hours, that's it. That's the permanent record. You can't revise it. You can't do it over. The day has set like the sun and it's finished. This finality sits heavy sometimes, especially on days when you feel like you wasted the light, when you spent hours on things that didn't matter, when you were irritable or impatient or unkind, when you didn't do the things you meant to do, when you let the day slip away without really living it. The sunset doesn't judge you for this. It simply marks the ending. It says this day is complete. It asks nothing of you except perhaps to notice, to witness, to acknowledge that another cycle has finished. The sky is darker now. The bright colors are fading into deeper shades. Purple is dominating. That particular purple that only exists at twilight. That color between day and night, between light and dark, between what was and what will be. This is the liminal space, the threshold, the between place. You're standing in it right now, metaphorically, if not literally. You're between the day that was and the night that's coming, between activity and rest, between the person you had to be today and the person you can be in the privacy of evening. Who are you in this space? When the day releases you, but the night hasn't fully claimed you yet. When you're suspended between identities, between roles, between the demands of light and the permission of darkness, you're tired. That's one thing you are. Tired in your body from whatever physical things you did today. Tired in your mind from decisions and conversations and the constant processing of information. Tired in your spirit from the effort of being a person in the world, from maintaining yourself, from showing up, from doing what needed to be done. The sunset understands this tiredness. The light itself is tired. It's been shining all day. It's been illuminating the world for hours. It's done its work. Now it's time to rest, time to withdraw, time to let darkness take over for a while. You think about work, whatever work means to you, the job you have or had, the tasks you completed or didn't complete today, the emails you answered, the meetings you attended, the problems you solved or tried to solve, the performance you gave of being competent, capable, professional. Is that performance finished now? Can you stop now? Can you let that version of yourself rest while the sun rests? You think about the people you interacted with today, the faces you saw, the conversations you had, the small transactions and exchanges that make up a day, the cashier, the co-worker, the stranger on the street, the friend you texted, the family member you called. All these brief connections, some meaningful, some forgettable, all part of the texture of being alive and moving through the world. Did you show up well for those interactions? Were you kind? Were you present? Or were you distracted, impatient, just going through the motions? Did you really see the people you encountered? Or were they just obstacles, interruptions, items to check off your list? The sunset asks these questions without words. It holds up a mirror to your day. It says, look, this is what happened. This is how you spent the light you were given. What do you make of it? Sometimes the answer is satisfying. Sometimes you can look back on your day and feel good about it. You were kind. You were present. You did things that mattered. You showed up as the person you want to be. You used your hours well. Those days, the sunset feels like a celebration, like a victory lap. You watched the light and you used it, and now you can rest with a clear conscience. You can let the day go without regret. You can welcome the night knowing you honored the gift of another day. But other days, maybe most days, the answer is more complicated, mixed. You did some things well and other things poorly. You were present sometimes and distracted other times. You were kind in some moments and impatient in others. You're human. You're imperfect. You did the best you could, and also you could have done better. Both are true. Those days, the sunset feels bittersweet. You're grateful the day is ending because you're tired and you made mistakes and you want a fresh start. But you're also sad because you can't get those hours back. You can't redo the moments you wish you'd handled differently. The day is finished, and whatever happened, happened. The sky is almost dark now, just a thin band of deep blue-purple on the horizon. The first stars are appearing, or planets maybe. Venus often shows up first, bright and steady in the western sky, the day star becoming the night star. The same celestial body, just revealing itself differently as the light changes. You are also the same person you were this morning, but you've been revealed differently throughout the day. You've played different roles, shown different faces, adapted to different contexts. And now, as the light fades, you're transitioning again, becoming the night version of yourself, the private self, the self who doesn't have to perform. This self is tired. This self wants comfort. This self wants to be done with effort and expectation. This self wants softness and quiet and permission to just exist without judgment. The sunset grants this permission. It always has. Every single day of your life, the sunset has arrived to release you from the demands of light, to invite you into the gentleness of darkness, to say it's okay to stop now. It's okay to rest. The world can turn without your constant participation. You think about your childhood evenings, how different they were, how you'd play outside until the light failed, until your mother called you in for dinner, until the street lights came on. The sunset meant something different then. It meant the end of freedom, the return to structure, dinner, bath, homework, bed. The sunset was a boundary you couldn't cross, but it was also cozy. Coming inside as the light faded, the warmth and brightness of home in contrast to the growing darkness outside, dinner smells, family voices, the particular quality of indoor light after you've been outside all day. The safety of walls and doors and windows that separate you from the night. Do you still feel that? That sense of coming home as the sun sets, of moving from the exposure of day into the protection of night? Maybe you do. Maybe you still feel that cozy settling that happens when you close your curtains against the darkness and turn on your lamps and create your own little world of warmth and light. Maybe evening still feels like safety to you. Or maybe you live alone now. Maybe you come home to an empty house or apartment. Maybe the sunset means loneliness for you. The end of distractions. The beginning of the long evening stretching ahead with no one to share it with. Maybe you turn on all the lights, not for coziness, but to push back the emptiness. The sunset doesn't judge this either. It simply marks the transition. It says day is ending, night is beginning. How you experience this is yours to feel. You stand at your window, or you lie in your bed, or you sit in your chair and you watch the last light drain from the sky. The darkness is almost complete now. The day is almost finished. The sun has fully set. The earth has turned just enough to put your part of the world into shadow. And you're still here, still breathing, still thinking, still feeling. Another day has passed, and you've survived it. You've made it to evening. You've arrived at this threshold between what was and what will be. Tomorrow is waiting. Tomorrow will bring another sunrise, another allocation of hours, another chance to show up, another day to live or waste or muddle through. But tomorrow isn't here yet. Right now, there's only this moment, only this fading light, only this transition from day to night. You think about all the people watching this same sunset from different places, different windows, different perspectives. The same sun setting for all of you, but each of you experiencing it uniquely. Each of you bringing your own history, your own tiredness, your own feelings about the ending of another day. Some of them are happy to see it end. They had hard days, painful days, days they want to put behind them. The sunset is relief for them. It's mercy. It's the promise that this difficult day will soon be over and they can rest. Some of them are sad to see it end. They had good days, beautiful days, days they wish could continue. The sunset is loss for them. It's grief. It's the reminder that even the best days are finite, that nothing lasts, that time takes everything eventually. Most of them probably aren't even watching. Most of them are inside, busy, distracted, letting the day end without witness, living their lives without stopping to mark the passage of time, missing the beauty and the meaning and the profound simplicity of day becoming night. But you're watching, you're here, you're bearing witness, and that matters. It doesn't change anything about the sunset. The sun doesn't set differently because you're watching, but it changes something about you. It means you showed up for this moment. You honored this transition. You acknowledged that something significant is happening, even if it happens every day. The darkness is here now. Full night. The day has ended completely. The light is gone. Stars are visible if you're somewhere you can see them. If you're not drowned in city lights that make the night less dark, less complete, less honest about what night actually is. You turn away from the window, or you close your eyes, or you simply shift your attention from the external world to your internal world, from the sky to your thoughts, from the sunset to your own feelings about what the sunset represents. You're inside now. The external sunset has finished, but something about it lingers in you. The colors you saw, the feelings they stirred, the awareness of another day ending. All of this stays with you as you move through your evening routine. As you transition from the person who watched the sunset to the person who prepares for sleep. You move through your home in the growing darkness. Maybe you turn on lights as you go. Maybe you prefer to let the darkness be. Maybe you light candles instead of flipping switches. Maybe you've learned that artificial light can be gentle, can be chosen, can be controlled in ways that sunlight never can. The ritual is beginning. The evening ritual. The sequence of actions that leads from day to night, from waking to sleeping, from engagement to rest. You've done this ritual thousands of times. It's so familiar, you barely think about it. Your body knows what to do. Your hands move automatically. Your feet carry you through the pattern without conscious direction. But tonight, you're noticing. Tonight, you're paying attention to what you usually do without awareness. Tonight, the sunset has made you mindful of transitions, of endings, of the way things shift from one state to another. You wash your face. The water is cool against your skin. You watch yourself in the mirror. The face looking back at you is the same face that watched the sunset. But it looks different somehow in this artificial light. Older maybe, more tired, more honest. Without the golden glow of evening light to soften it, your face shows its true age, its true weariness, its true history. You see your parents in your face now. That's something that's happened gradually over the years. You look in the mirror and suddenly your mother's eyes are looking back at you, or your father's jawline, or your grandmother's expression. The people who came before you are written in your features. You are carrying them forward. You are the sunset of their genetic day, the last light of their particular combination of traits and characteristics. This is both comforting and unsettling. Comforting because you're not alone. You're part of a chain, part of a lineage, part of something larger than your individual life. Unsettling because it reminds you that you're aging, that you're becoming your parents, that one day someone might look in a mirror and see your features looking back at them the way you see your parents now. You brush your teeth. This simple act of maintenance, this daily care of the body you live in. You've brushed your teeth twice a day for decades, tens of thousands of times. The same motion, the same purpose, keeping decay at bay, maintaining what you can maintain, fighting the slow entropy that comes for all bodies eventually. Your body is older than it was at the last sunset. Not by much, just one day older. But age accumulates in these single days, these incremental changes that you don't notice until suddenly you do. Suddenly you can't do something you used to do easily. Suddenly something hurts that never hurt before. Suddenly you look in the mirror and realize you've crossed some invisible threshold into a new phase of life. The sunset outside mirrors the sunset of your body. Your youth was the morning, bright and fresh and full of potential. Your middle years are the afternoon, still productive, still capable, still participating fully. But the light is starting to change. The angle is shifting. The shadows are lengthening. An evening is coming for your body, for your energy, for your time on this earth. The sunset you watched outside is the same sunset that's happening inside you. Slowly, daily, inevitably. You don't know how many sunsets you have left. No one does. But you're aware that the number is finite. That you're closer to your last sunset than to your first one. That the sun has already set on more days than you have remaining. This thought could be terrifying. Sometimes it is terrifying. Sometimes you lie awake at 3 a.m, confronting the absolute certainty of your own death and feeling panic rise in your chest. The sunset of your life is coming. The darkness is coming. The end is coming. But right now, in this moment, as you move through your evening routine, the thought is almost peaceful. Because the sunset taught you something tonight. It taught you that endings can be beautiful, that transitions can be graceful, that darkness isn't the enemy of light, but its necessary partner. The day must end so that rest can come, so that restoration can happen, so that tomorrow can have meaning. Without sunset, there would be no night. Without night, there would be no sleep. Without sleep, there would be no renewal. The ending makes the continuation possible. Maybe death is like this too. Maybe the sunset of your life is necessary for something else. Something you can't see yet. Something beyond the horizon of your current understanding. Or maybe there's nothing beyond. Maybe darkness is just darkness. Maybe the sunset of your life is final and complete. And that's all there is. You don't know. You can't know. Not yet. Not until you reach that final threshold. But the sunset suggests that endings have their own beauty, their own purpose, their own place in the natural order of things. You change into your sleep clothes, the soft fabric against your skin, the looseness and comfort after a day of restrictive clothing. Your body relaxing into these familiar garments, your shoulders dropping, your breathing deepening, the physical transition from day self to night self. These clothes have witnessed countless nights. They've absorbed your sleep sweat. They've twisted around you during restless nights. They've clothed you through dreams and nightmares and the peaceful nothing of deep sleep. They know the night version of you, the vulnerable version, the version that doesn't have to hold anything together. You think about the person you were today, the face you showed the world, the competence you projected, the strength you displayed, the mask you wore to get through the hours. That person is tired now. That person wants to retire. That person is grateful for the sunset that gives permission to stop performing. Underneath that person is another person, the real you, the one who's scared sometimes, who's confused sometimes, who doesn't have all the answers, who's just making it up as you go along, who's doing your best, but your best isn't always very good, who's flawed and uncertain and human. The night self is this person, the one without the mask, the one who doesn't have to pretend. The sunset strips away the performance. The darkness allows you to be honestly, completely, messily yourself. You move toward your bed, this piece of furniture that's been with you through so much, this mattress that holds the shape of your body, these pillows that know the weight of your head, these sheets that have felt your presence night after night after night. Your bed is your sunset place, your transition place, your threshold between conscious and unconscious, between waking and sleeping, between today and tomorrow. You spend a third of your life here, maybe more, as you age and need more rest. This is your nest, your cave, your sanctuary. You pull back the covers. This gesture you've made countless times. The weight of the blanket in your hands, the cool sheets underneath, the space prepared for your body. Everything arranged for rest. Everything ready to receive you. You think about all the beds you've slept in, all the different mattresses that have held you through the night. Your childhood bed, your college dorm bed, your first apartment bed, the beds in hotel rooms, the beds in friends' guest rooms, the bed you shared with a partner, the bed you sleep in alone. Each bed witnessed a different version of you, a different era of your life, different dreams, different worries, different versions of the person you were becoming. Those beds are gone now, mostly. Given away, or thrown away, or left behind in moves. But the memory of them remains. The feeling of them. The specific quality of rest or restlessness you experienced in each one. This bed, your current bed, is witnessing you now. Seeing the person you've become. Holding you through this phase of your life. Whatever you're going through right now, joy or sorrow, peace or turmoil, contentment or longing, this bed is here for it. This bed doesn't judge. It simply receives you, night after night, sunset after sunset. You climb into bed. The mattress yields to your weight. The sheets are cool against your skin. The pillow cradles your head. Your body begins to settle, to release, to let go of the tension it's been holding all day. This settling is like the sunset, gradual, progressive, a slow transition from one state to another. You don't fall asleep instantly. You descend into it. You drift toward it. You let it come to you the way night comes after the sun sets, incrementally, inevitably, naturally. You lie there in the darkness, and your mind is still active, still processing, still reviewing the day that just ended, the sunset you watched, the thoughts that arose, the feelings that surfaced. Your mind doesn't shut off just because the sun has set. It continues, it wanders, it explores. You think about the conversations you had today, the things you said, the things you didn't say, the words you wish you could take back, the words you wish you'd spoken but kept silent. Communication is so complicated, so fraught with misunderstanding and missed connections and things that sound one way in your head but come out differently when spoken aloud. Did you say what you meant today? Did you mean what you said? Were you honest? Were you kind? Did you build connection or create distance? Did you leave things better than you found them? The darkness gives you honesty that daylight sometimes obscures. In the night, lying alone with your thoughts, you can admit things you might not admit in the light. You can acknowledge mistakes. You can feel regret. You can recognize the gap between who you want to be and who you actually are. This honesty is uncomfortable, but it's also necessary, because without it, you can't grow, you can't change, you can't become the person you're capable of becoming. The sunset strips away the illusions. The darkness reveals what's really there. You think about the people you love, where they are right now, whether they're also lying in bed, watching their own internal sunset, whether they're thinking about you the way you're thinking about them, whether the connection you feel is felt by them too, or whether it's one-sided, imaginary, a story you tell yourself to feel less alone. Love is so mysterious, so unpredictable, so impossible to control or manufacture or maintain through will alone. You love people who don't love you back. You're loved by people you don't love. You love people who are gone, people who are dead, people who will never know how much they meant to you. The sunset reminds you that love, like light, is temporary. It comes and it goes. It illuminates your life for a while, and then it fades, sometimes slowly, like a sunset, the colors changing gradually, the warmth diminishing by degrees, the light leaving so slowly you don't notice, until suddenly it's dark. Other times love ends abruptly, like flipping a switch, like the sun dropping below the horizon all at once. One moment there's light, and the next there's not. One moment there's love, and the next, it's gone. The shock of it, the disorientation, the desperate attempt to adjust to sudden darkness. You've experienced both kinds of endings, both kinds of sunsets in relationships, and you've survived them. You've made it through the darkness that followed. You've learned to see in the dark, to navigate without the light you thought you needed, to discover that you're stronger than you believed. But you've also experienced love that didn't end, love that persisted, love that weathered its own sunsets and continued into night and emerged again at dawn. Love that proved itself through seasons and years and the countless small deaths and resurrections that long-term relationships require. If you have that love now, you're grateful for it. You know how rare it is, how precious, how unlikely. You know that love surviving its own sunsets is a kind of miracle, not a dramatic miracle, a quiet one, a daily one, a miracle of choice and commitment and showing up even when the light has faded. If you don't have that love now, you're aware of its absence. The bed feels bigger, the night feels longer. The sunset you watched alone stays with you differently than a sunset watched with someone you love. There's beauty in solitude. There's freedom in it. But there's also loneliness, a longing for witness, for someone to turn to and say, "Did you see that? Did you see how beautiful that was?" You think about your work, whatever work means to you, the thing you do that gives structure to your days, the way you spend the light hours, the effort you exchange for money or meaning or both or neither. Are you satisfied with how you spend today? Did you do work that matters? Did you contribute something valuable? Did you use your skills and talents in service of something larger than yourself? Or did you just go through the motions? Put in the hours, do the minimum required, count the minutes until you could leave. The sunset doesn't judge your work, but it does mark the end of your productivity for the day. It says you've done what you've done, and now it's time to rest. Whatever you accomplished or failed to accomplish, whatever difference you made or didn't make, it's finished now. The workday has set like the sun. Tomorrow you'll have another chance, another day to show up, another opportunity to do work that aligns with your values. But tomorrow isn't here yet. Right now, there's only this moment, this bed, this darkness, this transition from doing to being. You realize that you spend most of your life doing, accomplishing, producing, moving from task to task, checking things off lists, staying busy, staying distracted, staying in motion because motion feels like progress and stillness feels like stagnation. But the sunset invites stillness. It models it. The sun doesn't frantically try to keep shining. It doesn't resist setting. It doesn't fight the rotation of the earth. It simply allows the transition. It accepts that its time has come to withdraw. That darkness has its own purpose. That rest is as necessary as activity. Can you do that? Can you allow yourself to stop, to rest, to be unproductive for these hours of darkness? Can you release the guilt that says you should be doing more, accomplishing more, using every moment productively? The sunset says yes. The sunset says you're allowed to rest. The sunset says the world will keep turning without your constant effort. The sunset says darkness is not failure, but necessity. You take a deep breath. You feel your body sinking deeper into the mattress, your muscles releasing their tension, your jaw unclenching, your shoulders dropping, your breathing slowing. The physical manifestation of letting go. This is hard for you sometimes. This letting go, this surrender. You're used to being in control, used to managing things, used to thinking that if you just try hard enough, plan well enough, work long enough, you can control outcomes. But the sunset proves you wrong every single day. You can't stop the sun from setting. You can't keep daylight through will or effort or desperate wanting. The earth turns, the sun sets, darkness comes. This is beyond your control. This has always been beyond your control. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's even a relief. Because if the sunset is beyond your control, then maybe other things are too. Maybe you're not responsible for everything. Maybe you're not failing when things end. Maybe endings are just natural, just part of the pattern, just the way things work. You think about the goals you have, the dreams you're pursuing or have given up on, the person you thought you'd be by now, the life you imagined you'd be living, the gap between expectation and reality. That gap used to torment you. It used to keep you awake at night, reviewing your failures, cataloging your disappointments, measuring yourself against an imaginary standard, and finding yourself wanting. But the sunset has taught you something about this gap. The sunset is never what you expect. Every single evening, the sky does something slightly different. The colors vary. The cloud formations change. The quality of light shifts. You can watch the sunset every single day of your life and never see the same sunset twice. If you spent your life being disappointed that each sunset wasn't the sunset you imagined, you'd miss the sunset that's actually happening. You'd miss the beauty that's actually present in favor of the beauty you expected. Your life is like this. It's not the life you imagined. It's not the sunset you expected, but it's the sunset that's actually happening. It has its own beauty, its own colors, its own particular quality of light. And if you spend all your time mourning the imagined sunset, you'll miss the real one. This doesn't mean you stop dreaming, doesn't mean you stop striving, doesn't mean you settle for less than you're capable of. It just means you acknowledge reality. You see what is instead of being blinded by what isn't. The darkness is complete now, inside and outside. The external night and your internal movement towards sleep. The boundaries between them are blurring. You're drifting, floating, existing in that space between waking and sleeping where thoughts become dreamlike and logic loosens its grip. You think about tomorrow, the sunrise that will come, the new day that will begin, the fresh allocation of hours, another chance, another opportunity, another revolution of the earth bringing your part of the world back into light. Tomorrow is both promise and burden. Promise because it's new, because you get to try again, because yesterday's mistakes don't have to define tomorrow's choices. Burden because it will require effort, because you'll have to get up and show up and do the whole thing again, because There's no guarantee tomorrow will be better than today. But tomorrow isn't here yet. Right now, there's only night, only rest, only this moment of suspension between what was and what will be. The sunset has done its work. The day has ended. The darkness has arrived. Your only job now is to surrender to it, to allow sleep to come, to trust that morning will bring light again. You feel yourself letting go, releasing the day, releasing the thoughts, releasing the need to solve anything or figure anything out or be anywhere other than exactly where you are. You're here, in this bed, in this darkness, in this body, in this moment. And that's enough. The sunset taught you this, that there's beauty in endings, that transitions can be graceful, that darkness is not something to fear, but something to welcome, that rest is not weakness, but wisdom, that letting go is not giving up, but allowing the natural rhythm of things. You think about all the people sleeping right now, all across the world, millions of people in millions of beds having watched millions of sunsets, all of you lying down, all of you releasing the day, all of you trusting that sleep will come and morning will follow and life will continue its pattern of light and dark, day and night, activity and rest. You're part of something vast, something ancient, something that's been happening since humans first existed. The daily cycle of waking and sleeping, the daily sunset, the daily transition from consciousness to unconsciousness. You're participating in a ritual as old as humanity itself. This connects you to everyone who came before, everyone who will come after, all the humans who have ever watched the sunset and felt what you're feeling. The melancholy, the beauty, the awareness of time passing, the mixture of gratitude and grief. You're not alone in this, you never have been. Your breathing is slow now, deep, rhythmic. Your body has taken over. Your conscious mind is receding. Sleep is approaching like night approached after the sunset. Gradually, gently, inevitably. You're safe here, in this bed, in this darkness, in this moment between today and tomorrow. Nothing is required of you now. No performance, no productivity, no effort. You can simply be, simply breathe, simply exist in this space of rest. The sunset is complete. The day is finished. The night has fully arrived. And you're here, still breathing, still being. Another day survived. Another sunset witnessed. Another transition navigated. Tomorrow the sun will rise. The light will return. The day will begin again. But that's tomorrow. Right now, there's only this. Only darkness. Only rest. Only the gentle descent into sleep. You close your eyes, or maybe they're already closed. Maybe you've been drifting for a while now. Maybe you're already halfway to sleep. Maybe these thoughts are becoming dreams. Maybe the boundary between waking and sleeping has already been crossed. It doesn't matter. The sunset doesn't need you to be awake to complete its work. The night doesn't need your awareness to fulfill its purpose. Sleep will come whether you're watching for it or not. So let go. Release. Surrender. Allow yourself to drift. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to trust that the darkness is safe, that sleep will restore you, that morning will come again. The sunset has done its work. Now let it do yours. Rest now. The fires die down. The stories settle. And the world grows still. Let your thoughts drift away like embers on the wind. Good night. You've journeyed far through time tonight. Now it's time to journey into dreams. Close your eyes. Breathe. And let sleep find you.